Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I'm Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages with the cards that come out in today's reading for you. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out and what messages come through with the cards that come out in today's reading. So the first card we have is the Magician. We have some Mercury energy with this. You could be dealing with a Gemini or even a Virgo. We have the Judgment card. We have some Scorpio energy with this. And we have the Six of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So this Three of Pentacles showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being able to work quite well as a team or even in a partnership with someone. So I do feel like there's a sense of actually having cooperation when it comes to being in a partnership that works with someone. I do feel like with this Three of Pentacles, this could even be a situation where you work with this person, or this person could be someone from the workplace, but even someone that you learn with in, as far as a educational sense. I do feel like with the Three of Pentacles showing up over here, this feels like being recognized in a space where it's like your everyday kind of working environment. But I do feel like you're kind of standing out, you're getting noticed. With the Magician card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of this person being very drawn to you, very attracted. But you do get that with the Magician card, this also feels very proactive when it comes to this person and the way in which they approach their feelings towards you and even this connection. I do get that with the Magician card showing up over here. At times this person may actually try to control a lot of situations in order to make sure that things happen. So I do feel like they are proactive as far as this connection. I do also feel like they don't want to let it get away from them. But with the Judgment card showing up over here, this feels like an energy of being in a space where there's a sense of actually leaning very heavily on your intuition and your intuition being on point. But this Judgment card showing up over here also feels like actually having meaningful realizations in this connection as far as the feelings that you have towards this person. So I do feel like there's a sense of actually being able to experience this connection in a way that is actually bringing up a sense of being able to have more clarity on the situation, especially when it comes to the feelings that you have in this connection. I do get that with this Six of Pentacles showing up over here. This does feel like a pretty mutual energy when it comes to the investments in this connection. I also feel like this connection being one that's quite supportive, and you're also able to support each other in the ways that you need. So I do feel like this connection is quite beneficial, but also just deeply supportive as far as even having a connection where there's a sense of actually having someone who has your back and them also feeling like you have their back. And I do feel like with the Six of Pentacles showing up over here, it also feels quite generous. So it does feel like it's coming from a loving space. It feels like it is happening as a result of somebody's willful energies, something that somebody wants to do. So I do feel like they're inspired in this connection with you and very deeply motivated. So it does feel like this person putting in effort. And I do get that the generosity is not just in practical ways, but it does feel like even as far as being generous with their time and also with their efforts and even with their attention, but also even when it comes to generosity in the more practical sense of the word, like when it comes to being able to support someone as far as monetarily. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have the Two of Cups. We have the Four of Swords in the reverse. And we have the Queen of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Star. So we do have some Aquarius energy with the Star. Could be dealing with an Aquarius. But with the Star card showing up over here, this does feel like a pretty deeply meaningful connection with the Star card. It does feel like destiny even being at play when it comes to the feeling of this connection. I do get that with the Star card showing up over here and the Three of Pentacles. There is a sense of actually really looking at you through the lens of actually seeing the best in you. And I do feel like you may also be kind of seeing this person through that lens. There's a sense of actually kind of holding someone in high regards and having a very positive outlook of them. I do get that with the Two of Cups showing up over here. This person wants something real. They want something that is going to be even more so exclusive. With this Two of Cups, this does feel like a relationship that this person is actually intended on, and even being able to deepen a connection or a relationship. I do feel like with the Two of Cups showing up over here, this also feels like an energy of, when it comes to this feeling of being deeply connected, it is mutual. I do get that with the Four of Swords in the reverse. This also feels like an energy of being in a space where it's like you're ready for this connection when it happens. And even when it comes to being able to take things to the next level, or when it comes to this connection, and even for this person, it feels like an energy of being in a space where you're ready for it, you're ready to receive it. And I do feel like with the Four of Swords showing up in the reverse, this feels like an energy of also having communication. So I do feel like open communication with this Four of Swords also happening. I do get that with the Queen of Cups showing up over here. This feels like on an emotional level there is availability. So I do feel like with the Six of Pentacles showing up over here, this feels like the flow being also happening consistent to the availability of an emotional side in this connection, as well as kind of being in a space where there's a sense of actually being able to feel this emotional safety with this person. And I do also get this person also feeling that towards you. I do feel like this person holds you in very high regards. I do feel like it is something that is coming from a space of actually getting to know you. So I'm going to clarify these cards. So we have forgiving and learning. We have let go of control issues, and we've got honeymoon. So the forgiving and learning card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being open to being able to actually really embrace this connection, embrace this experience. And I do feel like that's also this person being ready for it. Do you feel like with the forgiving and learning card showing up over here, this person's in a space where it's like they have learned from the past. They do feel like they've learned a lot of past lessons, which is also making them ready for being able to really embrace this connection in the way that it deserves. Do you feel like with this card showing up over here, and the sense of kind of releasing anything from the past that is no longer serving this person is able to really be in this connection truly in this moment, and be present for it in a way that it needs. I do get that with the forgiving and learning card showing up over here. This also feels like this person kind of forgiving themselves and being able to learn from past experiences. And I do feel like it's like the better version of themselves is what you're getting when it comes to this person, because I do feel like they have grown through a lot of experiences. With this let go of control issues showing up over here, this really is about being able to let this connection flow naturally, as opposed to trying to control every aspect of it and kind of trying to make it or expecting for it to happen in a very particular way. Because I do feel like with this Magician card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of actually trying to be able to have everything under control and be able to be the person who's orchestrating everything. But I do feel like with the Star card, this does feel like the universe also kind of being at play when it comes to orchestrating this connection. This does even feel like a karmic element in this connection. I do feel like there's a very spiritual bond that you actually share with this person. So with this let go of control issues card showing up over here, it does feel like with the Four of Swords showing up in the reverse, this feels like an energy of when you let go. I do feel like things kind of falling into place naturally, and also being able to experience this connection in a way that feels more so enjoyable when actually letting it unfold naturally. With the honeymoon card showing up over here, this does feel like more good moments on the horizon for this connection. I do feel like it is an enjoyable energy. It feels very pleasant. And with this honeymoon card showing up over here, this also feels like a feeling in this connection. Feeling like there's a sense of actually being at a stage where you're able to really enjoy this person's presence, and this person enjoys your presence and your company. And I do feel like with the honeymoon card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of actually being in a place where this connection feels like it's almost like it's sweeping off your feet, or this person's experiencing it in this way. I do feel like with this honeymoon card showing up over here, this does feel like entering the honeymoon stage, or the honeymoon stage feeling like that is the feeling of this connection. I do get that there could actually also be a lot of experiences on the horizon that do also feel quite enjoyable. that you get to experience together. And that could also have to do with traveling together, or a vacation that's kind of extended to you when it comes to being able to spend time with this person. I do feel like there's a sense of also being able to enjoy moments like holiday times together as well, that this person is also planning. So so those are the messages that I'm getting with these cards for you, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Cancer.